Hey everybody, what's up? You know, I said I was going to do this a couple weeks ago, something like that. I was going to do a Q&A, and I really didn't get to it the way I wanted to because certain things came up. But now I'm going to get to it, seeing as though we're on the last Wednesday of 2010, so this is the last week actually of 2010. So I figured I'd do it and just get out of the way. Now these are 10 questions. Some of them were asked by subscribers to my channel, and some I'm pretty sure people have been wanting to ask or have been wondering why I do certain things, but have not, asked me. So again, these are questions that some people have asked me, and I'm pretty sure some people that have subscribed to me or watched my videos have always probably wondered or asked themselves at certain times. Now I'm going to read these, not in order, but I'll just read them off and then try to answer them the best I can. So these are 10 ones that I have. They're right here. So let's get going. Now the first one I'm going to answer. The first question is a question that somebody's been asking me a long time because they've been asking me to do this. I've answered this once in a video. Excuse me. And that question is, why don't I review Invader Zim? Well, it's real simple why I don't review Invader Zim. It's real simple. I don't like the show. I haven't seen the show that much, and from what I have seen, it's stupid. Pure stupid. I mean, it's basically this young alien boy trying to take over the world, and he's posing himself off as an Earth boy until the time is right to release his plan to conquer the world. Big whoop-de-freaking-do. It's really nonsensical. To me, it's just a nonsense of a cartoon. Now, I understand that there is a fan base for this show. I'm not saying there isn't. But honest to God, to me, it is a one of Nickelodeon's dumbest shows that they ever could have made or even collaborated with or whatever. It's just, or even associated themselves with. It's one of the dumbest shows, and that's why, honestly, I don't want to review it. That's why I don't want to do a cartoon flashback on it, because it's that stupid. It just don't make sense. Excuse me. So, there's your answer to that. I know that sounds like I'm making up an excuse as to not making up an excuse, but that's how I feel, and believe it or not, there are others that do agree with me. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at another question. Alright, this question is, what was the first anime I ever saw, and what were my thoughts on it? Well, here's the thing. I've been around for 31 years. And for about, let's say about 27 to 26 of those years, I have watched cartoons on and over and over and over. Some of them have been American style cartoons, American animated cartoons, and some have been animes. Now, to be quite honest, the ones that stick out in my mind that I thought were pretty good when it comes anime wise were Voltron, Robotech, Silverhawks, Thundercats, and I believe Battle of the Planets. Those are the 5 that I can remember. Because I remember watching Voltron, and it just blew my mind as a kid. In fact, I was such a fan of Voltron's that at Christmas time, back I think in 1986 or 85, my parents or somebody, I guess it was Santa Claus if you will, but somebody gave me a dartboard. Well, it wasn't a dartboard. It was basically sort of like a dartboard, but what it was is that you had these little balls with these little adhesives on it, these little sticky things on it, and you threw it at the dartboard. And it was a Voltron dartboard. And I liked it. I loved it. I loved it. Now you might be asking yourself, well Brian, what about Transformers? It was an anime, right? Yeah, Transformers and G.I. Joe could be considered animes, but they were more American style than anything else. Their animation was more American style at times than anything else. But, like I was saying, getting back to what I'm saying, I was such a fan of Voltron at the time because it was one of the animes. And here's the truth, I didn't even know Voltron, Robotech, Silverhawk, Thundercats, or even Battle of the Planets, or Gatchaman, whatever you want to call it, were animes. I mean, I was too young to even understand that until later on, till many, many, many years later. But, like I said, when I was a kid, at Christmas time, somebody, I guess Santa if you will, got me a dot board. Well, like I said, it wasn't a dot board, but it was sort of like a dot board, where I had these little balls with these little sticky adhesives, and I threw them at the Voltron picture. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I also had like a little Voltron action figure. It was actually the whole Voltron robot, but it was like this size. It was about like this size. That was it. So, but yeah, those are the 5 animes that stuck out in my mind. Transformers and G.I. Joe to me are more of an American show than anything else. But like I said, those 5, Voltron, Robotech, Silverhawks, Thundercats, and Battle of the Planets, Gatchaman, they were some of the best anime-related shows that I've ever seen. Now I know what you're also thinking. You're thinking, well, wait a minute. Silverhawks and Thundercats were more Americanized than anything. Yes, but people look at them as animes. Believe it or not, they do. Because this is the way the style is sometimes. And the way the action-adventure is. So that's why I consider them animes. But anyway, like I said, those 5 stick out in my mind because they were some of the best shows I'd seen. Now, I will admit this, when Thundercats was one of the shows that I did watch, and I can still watch it now on courtesy of WB On Demand, but Thundercats was one of those shows, and I'm sorry about that, that was my watch going off in the background, but Thundercats were one of those shows that as a kid, because I come from a Christian family, that along with He-Man and I think even She-Ra, my mom was very reluctant, if you will, to let me watch because of some of the villain characters they had in it. So, but anyway, besides that, the first anime that I saw officially, if you want to know, was Voltron and Robotech and Battle of the Planets. Thundercats and Silverhawks came a little bit later, but those are the first 3 out of the 5 that I mentioned that I saw, and I thought they were pretty good because they were exactly what a young boy at my age, I think it was about 4 or 5, would really like to watch, or 4, 5, 6, would like to watch and enjoy. So those were the first animes I ever saw. Alright, another question that we have here is from and somebody might recognize this. The question is, are you going to get all 4 issues of the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers comic book from Boom Studios? Well, first of all, to correct my friend, it's not 4 issues. No. To correct my friend, it's not 4 issues. It's actually, I think from what I've read, it's going to be 8 issues of this comic. And yes, finances pending, I will try to get all 8 of these. Why? Because I like it. I like the idea that Boom Studios, along with Disney, is bringing these characters back, along with some other Disney Afternoon-like characters like Darkwing Duck, DuckTales with Uncle Scrooge, and hey, you know, a lot of people are hoping that after this, maybe they'll bring a Tailspin or a Gummy Bear one out. Honestly, I'd hope they bring a Tailspin one out, and a Gummy Bear one. I hope they bring out both. But anyway, yeah, I am going to collect the entire series. Why? Because I'm a fan of the show. I'm a fan. I'm a huge, huge fan. I've been a fan of the show since the first time I saw it on the Disney Channel when it was part of the spring preview back in 1989. That's how long I've been a fan of the show. And in all honesty, it's not just because I've been a fan that long. I've bought the 2 DVD box sets. I've recorded the entire series on tape, 6 to 7 tapes worth. I've recorded the series onto DVD plus R's, I think about 6 DVDs worth. And I've done my own collection of what I call the best of the Rescue Rangers. I've even put the 5-parter To the Rescue together as a movie. If you can believe that. I've even collected, in fact you could see these on one of my videos, I've even collected the I went on eBay and I even bought the Happy Meal toys that came out back in 89-90. Excuse me. I even got the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Ranger video game for the NES. I even collected, believe it or not, I even collected the entire comic book series originally by Disney Comics. That's how big of a fan I am. As well as I've also printed out these Chris Fisher's webcomic of the Rescue Rangers called Of Mice and Mayhem. And like I said, I even have the action figures. See? Right here, I have the action figures. Why Dale's little helicopter comes out all the time, I do not know. But I have the action figures. As you can see, I have them. Right here. And I have more than just these. I have other copies as well. I gotta find them though. But to answer your question again, but to answer this question that one of my subscribers have asked me, yes, I am going to collect the entire. I am going to try to collect the entire series. I am going to try to collect the entire series because I'm a fan of it. So, yeah, to answer your question, I am going to try to do it. So, that takes care of that question. Alright, next question. This seems to be, and this is sort of whatever. But this is a question that's a little bit more like non-cartoonish and everything. But this person that asked me this question wants to know, what position did I play in high school football? Well, I only played 2 years, my junior and senior year in high school football. And the positions I played, it's kind of a long, unusual story. But when I first tried out for football my junior year, I was going to be a quarterback. That's right, I was going to be a quarterback and a linebacker. Because in high school you got 2 positions, offense and defense. Of course that all depends on the size of your high school. If your high school's huge, then you only have 1 position to play. That's if you even make the team. But my school was so small. My school was in a small town community. And we're one of the small town communities where football was the one thing that everybody liked and enjoyed. Our football team was the one thing that brought, you know, a smile to people's faces anytime we won a big game. Anyway, the positions that I played in football, like I said, when I first started in football my junior year, I tried to be a quarterback and a linebacker. The linebacker position I actually excelled at. The quarterback position, well, not so well. I had a good throwing arm and everything, but not just grasp, I guess, all the plays and all that. So what happened towards the end of my junior year term as a football player, is I switched over to wide receiver, and that was the position I continued with going into my senior year, and I excelled at that along with the linebacker position as well. So linebacker, wide receiver, and quarterback were the positions I played, but more primarily the ones I excelled at were wide receiver and linebacker. So that was pretty cool. And in fact, a highlight for me was my senior year, because they always say that over time you get a little bit better, and it seemed I got a little bit better because excuse me, sorry about the coughing, but it seemed that I had gotten a little bit better, and it was during our little fall scrimmage that we have before our season officially starts, that I proved myself. You see, on one side we had the white squadron, and the other we had the blue squadron. And I think I was on the blue squadron because, that was like the seniors and the juniors and all that. So I was on that position. I was on that side. And I remember we had this play. There was a play going down on the field. I was on the field when this play happened. And one of the guys that was on my team, he was a junior, tipped the football up. And fortunately, I was right in the position where I dove for the football, grabbed it, and held on to it. And then I had people fall right on top of me, to finish it. But that was a highlight for me in the scrimmage, because I had intercepted a ball. That was something I didn't expect to happen. So what happened as a result of that is my coach actually gave me a little bit more playing time the following week when we started our season. What happened is that even though it was for one play, it was in the second quarter, he called out one of his starting linebackers, who was our starting quarterback and a fellow classmate of mine, and they told me to go in. So that's what I did. I went in, and I actually did my job, and then I came out. And then I got to play most of the second half, and then I got pulled out to let the freshmen and the sophomores to have more time. But it was fun, and like I said, those were mainly the wide receiver and linebacker were the positions I excelled at the most. So to answer your question, those are the positions I played in high school football. Now, next question somebody has for me is, who are some of my favorite voice actors? Well, sometimes when I watch a show, I don't always watch it because of the voice actors. I just watch it for the characters and for the stories. But in time, I've learned who these voice actors are, and I have to say some of my personal favorites when it comes to voice actors, just to name a few, are Jim Cummings, because he's multi-talented. Doesn't matter what show you put him on, he can get the job done. He can voice just about any character. And I have to say some others are Jolie White. Jolie White has done some voice acting too, and he did it most notably for Sonic, and that was pretty cool. Cat Sushi. Cat Sushi who's also like Jim Cummings, multi-talented when it comes to voice acting. Can apply her voice to do that. She can apply her voice to, so she can voice the character of a male be the voice of a male character, and she can also apply her voice to be a female character. But the one thing that makes her one of my favorite voice actresses or actors, excuse me, actresses or actors, is the fact that they allowed her for, I think it was, it was mostly noted on Sonic's SAT-AM, and sorry about that space out there, but mostly noted for, because I was thinking there, but mostly noted for the Sonic SAT-AM. The reason she's one of my favorite voice actors and actresses, along with Jolie White, Jim Cummings, Tim Curry, Christine Calavici, or whatever her name is. The reason Cat Sushi stands out to me as one of my favorites because when they allowed her to voice Sally, they didn't say, oh, squeak, make your voice high or make your voice low. No, they just said, Cat Sushi, be yourself. Use your natural voice. Just be yourself. And to me, that's what helped make the character of Sally in the Sonic franchise, not just of Saturday but the entire Sonic franchise, a popular character. The fact that Cat Sushi was able to use her natural voice to bring her to life. So that's why Cat Sushi, Tim Curry, Jim Cummings, Christine Calavici, who did the voice of Bunny Rabbit, and who also is multi-talented as well, did some voices on 101 Dalmatians, did some voices on Rugrats and stuff like that. She's really, really cool. So those are some of my favorite voice actors and actresses, just to let you know. Alright. Excuse me. Another question somebody has. Well, actually, this is a question I'm pretty sure people have been asking themselves and wondering about for a while. But they haven't asked me, but I'm pretty sure it goes to a lot of people's minds. And I thought, I just figured I'd answer this question before somebody asks it anyway. And that is, why do I do videos late at night, or why do videos late at night during the summer and some of the winter and the spring? In other words, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have noticed that lately, during this Christmas break, and throughout the summer, and somewhat in the spring, I've been doing a lot of my videos at night. You've been noticing me showing off the time of what time it is, right? When I do it. Well, for those of you that have been wondering that and have been wanting to ask me that, and just in case not, I just figured I'd answer it for you anyway, because if any of you have been wondering it, here's the reason why. You see, when I lived on my own in Kansas, it didn't matter to me whether I did it at night or during the day, or heck, even if I did it at break at my work. I was always able to do a video in perfect privacy. That's right, in privacy, without any interruptions. And heck, I lived in a college town when I did some of my videos during my break at my jobs, so nobody really said anything because they probably thought I was a student doing a project. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, the reason I've been doing my videos lately at night, as a lot of you have been noticing, because of not only of the lighting, but because of the time I've been showing you, since I've been here in California, is because I live with family now. And my family, certain members of my family, if you will, I'm not going to name who, but certain members of my family like to sometimes open my bedroom door without knocking. Now, I know there's a lot of people that do the same thing. In fact, there's some people I subscribe to, like Zana Tariq and a few others, that have had similar problems. They either had the phone ring, which I consider as acceptable. I'll look at the phone and who's calling. If it's nobody important, I just ignore it. But if it's somebody important, then I have to stop the video and then restart it afterwards. In other words, I have to start over. But during this time, during Christmas time, and during the majority of the summer, and during some part of the spring, in fact, let's take a look at it this way. During mid to late August to mid to late December, or at least until Christmas break, from mid to late August to at least Christmas break, I have all the time in the world, day and night, to do videos. But I mostly do it during the day because no one's interrupting me. But when I have Christmas vacation, when there's Christmas vacation, like it is now, I do it at night because my family's always around. And like I said, there are certain family members that I have that are always opening the doors without knocking. And I know sometimes that's just out of habit because they're used to doing it. But again, I know I'm not the only one out there that's dealt with that. But then after Christmas vacation, I have the rest of the winter up until about, I believe, maybe late March, mid to late March or something like that, or early to mid-April. Around, basically from late March to early April, in between that time, is when I really, well, let's just call it Easter break. Easter break is, depending on when it's going to be in 2011, that's also a time that I'll start doing them at night again. Because from January to Easter break, which is 1 week, I don't do my videos until nighttime, and sometimes really late at night, because I have, like I said, I have my family at home. My family's home, and sometimes they open the doors without knocking, and also sometimes I have my nephews spending the night, and some of my nephews like to stay up late and play video games, which I have no problem with. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So sometimes I gotta wait till those nephews go to bed and out like a light before I can do any videos. And sometimes I have to wake up real early in the morning to do the video so that I won't get no interruption. So, but then after Easter break up until at least mid-June, if you will, I also have a lot of time. So you kind of understand what I'm saying. From mid to late August to Christmas break, I have all the time in the world. But during Christmas break, I have to do it late at night. But then from January up until at least Easter break, which could be any time in March or any time in April, I have all the time in the world, just like I did before Christmas break. I have all the time in the world. And then when Easter break comes around, I have to go back to doing it at night. And then after that, I have all the time in the world again up until summer vacation. And then for the next 2 to 3 months, or 2.5 months, I have to do it at night because I don't have no privacy. So there you go. That's my answering to your question right there for any of you that are probably wondering that. Let me check my time. Ooh, got played. I know I shouldn't be doing. Alright. Next question after that. The person that asked this question is, seeing as though I've done videos on my favorite Thanksgiving and Christmas specials, this person was wondering what are some of my favorite Halloween specials. What are my favorite Halloween specials? Well, we all know the Halloween specials are very in between. You know, they're not as lavished out as the Christmas specials or anything like that. So everybody's always wondering what are my favorite Halloween. So this person's wondering what are my favorite Halloween specials. Well, it's real simple. I'm a nostalgic kind of guy, and I go with what I grew up on. Excuse me. I go with what I grew up on, and I have to say my favorites are Garfield Christmas and Charlie Brown. Not Garfield Christmas, Garfield's Halloween Adventure, and It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Those are the ones that stick out to me. Because I grew up on them, and every year CBS and now ABC would air them, and I'd be able to watch them. So those are the ones, again, that stick out to me as some of the best Halloween specials, some of my favorite Halloween specials. Now I know they've been bringing out a lot more lately. Like last year, they brought out Monsters vs. Aliens Halloween special, which I thought was pretty good. And then this year they brought out Scared Shrekless. I didn't see it, but apparently I've heard it was good. There are other Halloween specials that I saw too, like Bugs Bunny's Halloween special they aired last year as well, which I recorded, which is a compilation of some of the scary or scary-related Halloween stuff of the Looney Tunes. And also there's Disney's Halloween Tweet, which I had not seen in years until this year when I downloaded it via torrent and then put it onto DVD. That to me, along with Garfield's Halloween Adventure and It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, the three of the best, three of my favorite Halloween specials or movies or whatever. So there you go. All right. 1, 2. Okay. Next question is, what are some of my favorite episodes of Animaniacs? Well, that is kind of hard, but I have to say some of my favorites have to, well, I can't really name many, but I have to say some of my favorite Animaniacs episodes are, well, of course, some that deal with the one, there's so many I can't really think of, but some that stick out in my mind are like the ones are the two Animaniac episodes that I think of that stick out in my mind. First of all, are the ones that involve Moon over Minerva and Meet Minerva. Those are some of my favorites because it's not just because of well, yeah, it's mostly because of the Minerva cartoons, because those are hella funny. I mean, it's like they take the characters. It's like Moon over Minerva. I mentioned this in my countdown of the top animated females. But Moon over Minerva is really funny because here you have this nerdy wolf who at night becomes Fabio-like. And this nerdy wolf goes crazy over Minerva, and yet when he goes Fabio, she goes crazy. And if not a little bit more. So it's pretty cool. And then you got Meet Minerva, where we're introduced to Newt, and yet throughout the entire cartoon, he's trying to capture her. Well, he's actually starting to fall in love with her. And then at the end, when he does something unexpectedly that she's been wanting, and everything, at the end, after he does that, she encounters her friend's cousin, and then she goes crazy. You get what I'm saying? That's why those two stick out in my mind. Some others that stick out in my mind are some of the cartoons with Rita and Runt, like Home Over Denial. That's one of my favorites. Some are like Slappy Squirrel. The one that sticks out to me on the Slappy Squirrel ones are her cartoon where they did the parodies of Roger, Siskel and Ebert. The other one is the recycling can. It's pretty cool. So some of those that stick out in my mind. Alright, but really there's so many, but to give you an example, those are some of my favorite episodes that stick out in my mind right now of Animaniacs. Alright, another question somebody has is, am I excited about Sonic Colors? Well, seeing as though Sonic Colors has already come out, I have to say I'm excited about playing it, but I haven't rented it or played it yet. So until I play it or rent it, I really don't know much about it. But I am excited to play it because I am excited to play it someday because I hear it's pretty good. I hear it's one of the best Sonic games they've had in a while. So yeah, I am excited. I just haven't played it yet. Okay, I think that's most of them, and now for the last one. How long have I been a subscriber of the Sonic Comics? I know this is something that people have been asking me on my on my channel, on the homepage of my YouTube channel. Some people have been asking me this, so I'm going to answer it right now. How long have I been a subscriber? Since 1999. That's right, since issue 72. Yes, I've read the comic before I officially became a subscriber. Here's a story, long story. A long story made short. I've been reading the comic since '93. I actually had a comic. I don't know if it was the one with the Christmas Carol. I think it was. I'm not really sure. And I had it, and it was in '93, around '93 when I first got that issue. I put it in my pocket, and I forgot about that issue, and it got destroyed in the wash. Go figure. But I also have an issue where the characters get shrunk, the actual issue, even though it's kind of like not in the best of shapes, where the characters get shrunk down by Robotnik in a music hall. But officially since '99 I've been a subscriber. Yes, in '97 I bought the Endgame series. When I was during the summer of '97, I bought the Endgame series. Well, majority of them except for one, which I got later on. Then, like I said, around '99 I officially became a subscriber, and I've been subscribing ever since issue 72. And seeing as though today, or yesterday, or the past 2 days I should say, I've gotten issue 220, kind of answer it yourself, almost 150 issues. That's right, when I resubscribe, when my subscription expires next month, and I resubscribe for the following month, which will be 222, that'll be 150 issues I've been subscribing to. So, yeah, I've been a subscriber for about 12 years now, so go figure. But yeah, that's how long I've been a subscriber of the Sonic comics, in case anybody's been wondering. And yes, I do have the yearly packs from like issue 29 to issue 39 and issue 40 to issue 50 and all that. So that's how long I've been a subscriber. So that's good. So overall, that's going to do it for my Q&A for this year. I hope you all enjoyed it. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll talk to you all later. I appreciate all the questions, and quite honestly, try to get some other people asking questions too in the near future. I'll let you know when the next Q&A is coming out. I'm going to ask this nicely. Don't ask me when the next one's coming out, because it will come out before you know it. So, or when you least expect it. So, thank you all for watching this Q&A, and God bless.